Cool. That should be working now. Alright, perfect. Everyone's on. Cool. So what was I saying? Alright, cool. Being all in, right? Be all in. Yeah. So burn all ships, no treatment. Okay, cool. So if you don't see the progress that you want to see, right? By the way, just so that I know, can everyone hear me? Drop something in the chat. Yeah, perfect. So if you don't see the results that you want and you put in hard work in, like for example, networking wise, let me see your GV, right? Let me see your like the volume that you're bringing in, right? Like if your volume ain't rising, then your work level isn't rising, right? If like trading wise, let me see how many pips you're catching, or let me see how much risk to reward you're catching, right? Because I know that certain people who are not on the call, they're getting insane risk to rewards, right? Just because they've been putting the work in. Now, like Vinodjan isn't on the call. Who else? Bash isn't on the call. Ishvak is on the call, but I know that those guys, they've been smashing it on trading. Like they've been getting insane risk to reward ratios. What's this? Okay, cool. Yeah, I know like those guys are getting insane. Like for example, one of my other guys who ain't on the call, they're getting 1 to 50, 1 to 20 risk rewards, and they've been smashing that out. Like they've been actually achieving that in the actual setups. So what I was gonna say. So if you're gonna take this as like a serious business and like think of it logically, like trading or networking, like whatever you want to focus on, have a systematic approach to each and every one of them, right? Like for trading, like I said, have a proper trading plan. Whether you want to grow your account 10% a week, 20% a week, 30% a week, think of ways to achieve that through your setups, right? Whether it be harmonic scanner, whether it be steady, whether it be swipe coin, or your own particular setups, have a systematic approach to achieve that, right? And for those who haven't exactly got that at the moment, then message me like let's see, yeah, all of you guys has my number. If you don't have a particular like systematic approach with your trading, message me, right? Or if you want me to help you with something like to like solidify something or whatever it is, if you just want my help, by all means message me, right? Networking wise, if you want to take it seriously, for example, there's what, one, two, three, I believe four P150s in the call now. If you don't want to go P600 and you don't have a game plan to do that, message me. Like I'm not here to boast or brag, but if you want to go P600, I'm currently P600, so I know what to do to exactly achieve the position that you want, right? If you want to go P2K, P1K, by all means, you have Sammy's number, you have Modi's number. Like drop them a message. Like when you grow your network, like whether it be trading as well, when you grow your network and ask some people different questions, and like again, this goes back to me saying learn from other people, right? Like it's better to learn from other people than your own mistakes or your own experience, right? It's just a lot quicker, right? Especially with Sammy, right? He's very close to platinum 5,000, right? Like he he's that type of person that would give up his time. Like sometimes he may be slow at replying. That's because he's helping other people, right? It's always about helping other people than rather helping yourself, right? Like especially in the long run. Like, at the start, by all means, help yourself. Make sure you know how to trade for yourself before sharing the plan with other people, right? Um, cool. Going back to my notes. And if you're not happy with where you are, for anyone, right, whether it be now, whether it be later on, if you're not happy with where you are or where you want to be, then take a step back, reevaluate what's there at the moment, and see how you can improve for next time, right? Again, this is not me targeting anyone. This is just for like people who may or may not be going through this at the moment, or you can use this for later on, right? Um, yeah, and like it's currently like 11th of July right now, but in, for example, in New Year's Day, right, in 2020, or when you first got started, like you were hyped, right? Like you were hyped of like what's about to happen, like yeah, like majority of you guys weren't in the squad like at the start of the year, but when you all got started, you were, well, I'm hoping majority of you were all excited of like what's about to happen, like this could potentially change your life and your family's life, right? And achieve and work towards your reasons why, right? So are you exactly doing what you said you were going to do from when you got started to now? Like every single day or every single week, are you doing the things that, whether it be me, whether it be Saru, set you think to do, right? Are you attending Go Live sessions? Are you attending our weekly trading calls? Are you sitting down charting up? Are you sitting down going through your trading view, going through um like going to your back office and checking up who's active and who's like not active, right? So be disciplined with like your income producing activities, your IPAs, right? Like if you want to know more about IPAs or income producing activities, definitely go watch Christopher Derrick and Cash Cartier, right, on YouTube, right? Like they have a lot of value in there. Even though we're not in the teams, they're still providing value, right? Um, cool. Now it's not about it's not like, sure, like you might see our results, right? Like you might see my results, you might see Modi's, Dylan's, Sammy's results, right? Like it's not about Sammy, it's not about Fama, it's not about Uma, it's all about you guys. Like it's all your turn to like see the results in your foot in yourself and start leveling up for yourself, right? Um, and to do that, right? To do that, where was it? To do that, you need to have like the right mindset to be like, whether you want to be promoted on stage or wherever it be, you want to flip your accounts to a certain figure, right? um, or just achieve anything you want, like you need to be ready to have that mindset to then obtain that value, right? um, cool, no problem. But yeah, you need to be ready. Like one thing I've always heard, and now I've experienced this, is that the mentee needs to be ready for the mentor to appear, right? Like I briefly said in the last call, I'm being mentored by a particular person. I'm not going to say who they are. Like multiple people, but it got like it took me like literally 2.5 years to achieve to this position where I built up my, like I developed myself, I built up my knowledge, I built up my experience from literally knowing nothing to a certain point in my trading career, that I got myself ready for the next mentor to come to me, right? Like before, it was just me and Sammy working together, right? Even though Sammy doesn't really focus on trading as much as he liked to, I had to help myself with trading. I had to put in the work in on staying like up late, like sacrificing time to go on charts to like sacrifice my time to level up my trading, right? Just because I knew that with that knowledge, I'm able to help like my future team, my future squad when they do come around. For example, now, right? Like I have close to 30 people in my team, and I may not be talking to each and every one of you every single day, but I'm trying to provide as much value to you guys, right? So if you're not going to do that for yourself, then like if you're not going to be ready for yourself, like get your mindset ready, and like make sure you're at that point to receive the value, then you just have to go out there and like get yourself ready, like watch personal development or listen to like personal development videos, attend, like again, plug into the system. Like we all have access to go live, we all have access to at least a harmonic scanner, right? um so yeah cool. Let me know if all of that made sense, and let me know if like that's helpful for you guys. Yeah, cool. All right, cool. So like with also that as well, like you have to get out of your past paradigms if you want to achieve like different results, right? What that basically means is we've all been we've all had previous we've all had like a lifestyle we've all had, right? For some people it may be enjoying the uni lifestyle, for some people it might be like currently working, right? And like some people it might be like settling down, right? But if you want to achieve that if you want to achieve something that you haven't had or done before, then you have to do what you haven't done before, if that makes sense. Like for example, like what I've got written down is, do you know who sorry, do you know who you are at the moment? Do you know what you have at the moment? Do you know where you're going at the moment? Where you what you're going to achieve, sorry. Like we all everything, like we are one idea away from changing our entire world, right? For me, my one idea from changing my entire world was getting started, right? For some of you, it might be I don't know, like attending a certain trading call, and that just flipped your mindset and thought to yourself, okay, cool. Instead of me thinking about pips, let me focus on risk to reward, right? And like managing my risks, right? So we're one idea away from like literally changing our entire world. Like before I knew nothing about trading. I knew nothing. Like even though I knew I was gonna become like successful one day, I never knew how I was gonna do that or have like a step by step blueprint of what I was gonna do to achieve that. But now, again, this comes to the point of like you learning from other people, right? Like follow someone who has the results that you want, right? So follow a successful person, and then like success leaves clues. So if someone successful is doing something, then do what they've done to get to their point, right? If that will make sense. Um, so if you don't have a blueprint for your life, then you literally don't have a future. Like you don't know what you're working towards. Like no matter like when you have a blueprint, like a solid blueprint set, that's why we always go back to the point of go to your reasons why. Like think about your reasons why, and that will work. That will make you work towards your goals, right? So like with that as well, when you have a solid blueprint set, like no matter like if anyone like discourage, like no matter if like anyone says something bad to you, when you have that blueprint set, nothing else matters. Like you have that bulletproof mindset, right? Like and with that as well, like your belief system just grows. Like you literally see what you're going to achieve that goal, right? Like for example, you can see behind me, I have a Ferrari and a nice house, and like different pictures, right? I don't know if you can see the other ones, but yeah, I know what I'm gonna exactly do to achieve that for myself and for my family as well, right? Do you have visual pictures of what you can see or visual like blueprints of what you can do to achieve the goals that you want? Because I know for some of you guys is your mainly your parents, right? For some of you guys is to put a deposit down for a house. For some, and yeah, so on, right? Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. For example, for myself, right? Like I said, I sacrificed so much time, just to get to where I am, right? Like I was like a first year uni degree. Like there was obviously the uni lifestyle that I could have like switched to, right? Like there was literally clubs going like every single week. Obviously, most of you guys are uni students, so you know how it is, right? And especially me living out. Um, cool. So yeah, like even especially if you're living out, right, living like on campus accommodation, you know how like again depending on your preferences, like you know how enjoyable that these certain clubs can be, right, or like certain activities can be, right? But you know all my mates at that time, they were all like going out, like they were going out drinking, partying like every single night. But once I got started within IAM and trading, I knew that cool, if I like what I sacrifice now, what was the saying, if you sacrifice the things you love now, later on, no, sorry, if you don't sacrifice the things you love now, later on, that will be the sacrifice, right? If that makes sense. So what relating that to like to you guys, right? Like for example, those who are uni students at the moment, right? Like if you if you don't sacrifice like going to the clubs or going on nights out with your friends, um, like out partying or wherever it is. Obviously, right now we're still in slight lockdown, so we can't really do that. But like when uni starts to open up again, like if you choose to like go out for clubbing, compared like instead of attending a go live session or instead of attending like a team training call, then that sacrifice that you would have made, like instead of going to clubs, that one sacrifice could have changed your way of thinking. It could have changed your direction with trading, right? Or whatever you want to achieve, right? Like um like what I've got in my notes, right, is like the thing that's stopping us to achieve what we want is literally ourselves, right? Like let that settle in. Do what exactly like do what others don't do today, to do what others can't do tomorrow, right? Like what Kate put in the chat. Um, and yeah, let that settle in, right? Like what is exactly stopping you? It's literally yourself, right? Uh, yeah. Like what are you doing to improve or to develop or improve your like emotional health, your mental health, your physical health, and your financial health as well, right? Or financial wealth, should I say? Like, are you doing it every single day? Like every time you wake up, do you think of your reasons why? Like, do you think of why exactly you got started in trading or what you exactly want to achieve in life, right? Like, do you start off like how you start your day is how you finish your day. How you start your week is how you finish your week, right? That is the I believe yeah, it's the weekends now. So from what we are doing the next 24 or 48 hours, is that what you want to is that how you were planned to do it from the start of the week, right? Like for example, yesterday Sammy dropped an incentive for us, right? Sammy dropped for the people who hit P150 by tonight at 7 p.m. UK time, you would have got £50, right? For the people who hit um, P600 by tomorrow at 7 p.m., you will get £100, right? Like are you taking that seriously, or are you just thinking, okay, cool, I spoke to a couple of people, but no one really replied, no one really showed interest. I'm not gonna take it. I'm not gonna take it forward or like follow up, or I'm not gonna talk to anyone else because that one person that I trusted said no to me or said that they weren't interested. Like if you kept thinking that, then Sammy wouldn't have talked to me. Like even though we were kind of friends in uni, I wasn't the type of person to show any sort of like what's it called, like I wasn't the ideal person to have in the team, if that makes sense. Like I wasn't the most talkative, like to network. I wasn't too bright. um I was kind of smart, but like I wouldn't show interest in trading. Or that was the person I was, right? But if Sammy prejudged me, if Sammy said, okay, cool, Sal's not going to do this, Sal's not going to be successful in this, I'll just move on to someone who I think will. Like, if you prejudge someone, or if you were put off by someone saying no to you, then you never know. Like Sammy didn't know I was going to be like a certain amount of figure trader. Like, Sammy didn't know I was going to get to this position, but it ended up being it, right? Um, so yeah, if you sacrifice the things you love now, later on it'll be the sacrifice, right? And again, with that as well, like success doesn't exactly knock on your door, right? Like you have to be in a like to receive a success. If you want to receive a certain success, you have to be in a different level of vibration, right? With like vibrations and frequency, and that's what I learned some from Bob Proctor. He has a whole video on it. Like search up Law of Vibration by Bob Proctor. Basically, if you want to achieve something higher than you, um, or something that's not on your level, then you have to think like someone who would achieve that, right? For example, if you want to become a 5, 6 figure, 7 figure trader, you have to think like a 5, 6, 7 figure trader. If you want to become a chairman, you have to think how chairmen think, something like that, right? Cool. Cool. Um, I don't know how long I've got left on this call, but I'll try wrap up real soon for you guys. It's been more than close to an hour, I think. Cool. I'll skip for a few points to wrap it up. Cool. So like again, I've personally experienced this where like people join my team, my squad, but then they drop out after a few months, or I drop out after a month, right? I can't remember the exact question from the last call. I believe Kate dropped in the chat, but I've experienced this, right? Like I've experienced someone joining my business and then them dropping out within literally the next day or the next few days or next weeks, right? Um, and that doesn't really impact me just because cool. Like one, I always reflect on that. Like, what can I do better to provide extra value to them, and like, is there something that I didn't do that would have helped them, right? So again, it's always about be like Chris Derrick says, is like be service driven rather than like numbers driven, if that makes sense. Like be the type of person that no matter what situation, you always provide value to them, right? Like even if like they're showing that they're not putting the work in, or they're not showing like any kind of motivation, or like they're not putting the work into like watch videos, watch go live sessions, like never give up on people. Like again, you never know what's going to happen, right? So like the only reason why there isn't retention in your team, like if you don't have retention, is because one, there might be lack of service, like you're not providing them value, or you're not like helping them um with their trades, with like showing them how certain things work, like showing them how to use a harmonic scanner, for example, or it's because you're not talking to them, like you're not engaging with them, right? So yeah, be service driven, because that will help you with your breakthroughs, right? What if they flat out ignore you, but you seem them active on social media? Cool. If they ignore you, like if you call them up and they don't pick up the phone, if you drop them a message and they don't reply to you, but they're active like elsewhere, then again you can't really move like a dead sheep, for example, right? That's like a saying. Like you can't really force them to do stuff, so you can only show them there's so much you could do before you can't do anything, right? So if they literally don't give anything back, like if they don't reply to you, they don't respond to your messages, then you can't do much, right? As hard as it may sound, right? Cool, cool. Um, right, cool. I'm going back to my notes. Cool. I'll skip over a few things because it wouldn't make sense right now. Um, cool. So if people don't, okay, cool. Yeah, this comes back to them. If people don't show that they want to build the business, or if people show that like they're not in it in trading, then you still have to have respect for them, right? Like they're still joined up because of you, right? And what value you provide to them, right? So always focus, like when you focus on the small things, when you like put the work in the beginning, you'll see like the ripple effect later on, like throughout time, right? What that basically means is that um cool, like there's a certain person in the call right now, like when he first got started, like he was like proper motivated, like me, Saru, and this person jumped on calls, right, majority of the week. But again, throughout time, certain things happened that made like few people um like kind of get distracted, or like kind of go off track. But then again, if you're too big for the little things, then you're going to be too little for the big things, right? So what with that as well, if you don't show respect, or if you don't provide value to like each and every person that joins your team, that joins your business, then they're eventually going to leave you, just because they would think, all right, cool, this person wouldn't care, right? And that's why I try to provide as much value to each and every one of you guys, right? Even though, like for example, people in Saru's team, right? Um, I believe that team's grown over to like 12, well, 14, 15 people right now. Which again, I'm still keeping to I'm still like helping like certain people in his team whilst helping like other people in my squad. Like just because I'm going back to the point of like moving in one squad altogether, right? So relating back to trading, right? So if like when you're too big for the little things, you're going to be too little for the big things, right? So when you don't focus on like a simple thing like market structure, right, or support and resistance, that the concept of support and resistance, like even if you want to go full advanced and like learn about how banks trade, the concept of support and resistance play into how banks trade, right? And the concept of market structure just solidify how banks trade, right? So again, no matter how simple my trading strategy may be, like not support and resistance, using market structure, using imbalances, gaps, equal highs, equal lows, I put it all together. I fuse retail style of trading and institutional style of trading, put that together, and you get an insane result, right? You get insane. You see the two different perspectives at once, right? Which will completely change your game. Trust me on that. Cool, cool, cool. Um, all right, my last note on this for the whole call is people who turn down this business is because they feel burdened to do this, right? And they feel like it's a lot of effort to do it. So if you make it feel like it's adaptable to them, that's when everything changes, right? That's like when people say, um, "Oh, trading is just too much. Like there's too much to learn in trading," or "I can't do trading just because I'm a full-time uni student while doing part-time work, or I'm full-time working and have to take care of family and stuff like that." That's when you have to adjust trading to their lifestyle, right? For example, since the majority of you guys are like university students, and you approach like one of your uni mates, and if they go up to you and say, I'm interested," or like um, or something like, it sounds all good, but to be honest, I can't really put time and effort towards trading just because I want to focus on my degree. That's when you like, even if you don't have results for yourself, talk about your mentors, talk about me, talk about Sari, talk about Sammy, right? Talk about who else went to Zoya. Zoya, like she's a Platinum 2000, doing I believe chemistry, or yeah, chemistry in university, and still done her dissertation while being a Platinum 2000, taking care of 70 plus people, plus smashing it and trading. Like her trading is like literally, I go up to her and tell her, what is your gold strategy? Like what is your golden strategy, and like what do you use for trading, right? Like even like again, that goes to me, like I go out there and ask other people to improve myself and to pass that knowledge down to you guys, right? So again, going back to the point, um adapt adapt trading and adapt IM Academy to the people you talk to. So if they're full-time uni students who want to focus on trading, tell them, okay, cool, you could still focus on uni work, but you can also use the harmonic scanner in between lectures, in between revision, to make money here and there, right? Or you can use Swipecoin, you could use Steady, you could use Gold Cup to copy and paste trades. Like when you receive an alert, copy and paste a trade onto your trading account, close the app, go back to your revisions, right? Literally, that's what I've been doing. Well, majority of my time in my uni, right? Like I literally focus, like from my like in between my lectures, I watch a go live session. In between my lectures, or during my lectures, actually, I receive swipe on alerts, I receive steady alerts. I just quickly copy and paste them and continue focusing on my lectures or tutorials, right? If they're full-time work, then again, use the same concept. Like before and after work, you could use harmonic scanner, you could use gold cup, you could use steady, right? During your work, if you're able to look at your phone during the breaks, then by all means go use the harmonic scanner, right? If they want just a little bit more income, to fund their trading account, for example, you could show them their networking side. You could show them, okay, cool, you can produce, or you can generate residual income or passive income through the networking side, and then use that to fund your trading account, or to make like further investments of like whatever you want to do, right? So if people turn down that opportunity, get to know why they turned that opportunity down, and then adjust trading to them, right? Um, with that being said, is there any questions or any advice that you want me to help with you guys? Just drop in the chat. I'll give you like a minute or two. If not, then I'll just wrap up the call and try to send out the recording. Probably send out tomorrow, to be honest. You're welcome. You're welcome. And like I said, I'm gonna try to do this more frequent as possible. Like last month, I couldn't do it just because of personal reasons. That's why like July onwards, I'm more active. Like even though in June I was active here and there, it's not as active that I wanted to be, right? Just because I knew that where I wanted to be is like to bring all you guys along with me. I needed to work a lot more harder, right? And now, time has freed up a little bit. I know what I need to do now. Cool, perfect, son, perfect. So again, if you need any help, by all means, drop me a message. Even give me a call if you wanted to, right? Like I have phone calls like with some members of my team, like from like till like 3 a.m. right, just to give you guys advice, right? Cool. I'm guessing there's no more questions. I'll wrap it up there. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, I'll wrap it up there. Um, yeah, there's nothing else that I can give you, or like to go with you. Sorry, for now. So I'll send out details of like, when I'm next gonna do a training call. But till then, be active in the group chats as possible. Like for example, Felipe is dropping insane setups in the group chat that you can all take. Moldy drops setups like 4 or 5 setups throughout the week, and you've seen his results. Like he's catching like 400 or 500 pips just from like GUP to AUD, right? And he sent out in the group chats as well. Now, and yeah, like trading wise, there's a lot of like if you're not active in the group chats, there's a lot of things you're missing out on, right? In the group chats. Plus, we got now Sunday setup. So tomorrow at I believe 8 p.m. UK time, Uni or Yusuf will be going through setups. Now their setups and Big Mo as well, like their setups. For example, Euro GBP last or this week that just went past. That one trade was enough for my entire week. I was up like 1 to 10 risk to reward, and with a percentage I risk, that's like 2 weeks of my compounding plan. So just by tuning into Sunday setup calls, that can help you with your trading to a whole new level, right? But yeah, that's enough of what I wanted to share with you. So I'll leave it there. Hope you have a great day, a great night, sorry, and speak to you all soon. Take care, guys.